Hello, my educators. How are you guys doing? Hello, hello, hello. Yes, it's Monday and you've all started back to school, whether or not it's on the online platform or whether or not it's in the physical classroom. We've all started back, and those of us who are in the physical classroom, well, it's fantastic. I'm so grateful for going back into the physical classroom. I'm having my connection with my students, although very, very challenging. But now I think I've understood what's happening there. And, in terms of seeing how the students are blossoming, it's fantastic to see. They're still storming because they're still chatty, but that is expected because they haven't seen each other for a long time and they're still enjoying the connection of, hugging off each other and stuff like that. That is expected, but that's fine. It's lovely. Right, I put it in the group earlier on, detention. Do you give detention or have you ever given detention? Well, I have been teaching for over 20 plus years now. I've never given a detention. I've given a detention this last week because the school I'm in, the students have really been programmed, and the students have told me that themselves. You have to be super structured. You cannot even allow them to have some form of autonomy because it's not going to work. They're so used to be programmed, and everything they do is programmed. You really program them. So in terms of me allowing them to be independent and use their initiative and put some autonomy in the sessions, it doesn't work. I have to maintain super structure in order for them to learn, in order for them to be on task, in order for them to listen, in order to have control of the classroom and have control of their behavior. So that being said, last week, for the last few weeks, we've been having a lot of challenges with these students because they have been disruptive, they're not listening, and Debbie, being Debbie, very creative, thought that she's going to be innovative and creative and bringing all these things into the lesson. Nah, that wasn't working. All I was getting was disruption until on Thursday, one of the head of the department came into my lesson and he actually, said to the student, tell them to sit specific places. He actually told them where to sit. And I must say, after that was fantastic. As a result of that, I have to put some of the names on the board because they were very disruptive, rude, etc. So following that, I had to give a detention. So I have given their detention. I think I've given 3, 6, probably 9 student detention. I know it doesn't work, but that's the way that school operates. When you actually put the names on the board and you want them 3 times, you have to give them detention. So I'm afraid I gave them detention. So it'll be lovely to see tomorrow what would be the outcome. I know detention doesn't work, but for me, I wanted to speak to them first. But the school rule is you give them the detention and then you speak to them. So it's like you give them the punishment and you speak to them. I would have rather speak to them, and come up with a form of action, put it in place and see what happens. But no. I've given them detention and then you're doing restorative justice after that. So therefore, I'll see how that works. So I'll report to you guys how that works. But in terms of detention per se, detention doesn't work. Okay, yes, they waste for half an hour of the time. You haven't done anything. You haven't said anything. They just waste the time. Have they learned anything? No. Would they do it again? Yes. The reason why I feel they wouldn't do it again is I've got a super structure. Now, although it's very tiring, but it works for them. So in order for me to have peace and in order for me to teach them, I had to have a very tight ship and very structured class, extremely structured. No time for breathing space. Structure, when there is a space, they get something to do. They finish, they get something else to do. We review it, and so it goes on. So tomorrow I'll report to you guys in terms of the student who had the detention, what went on with that. Because today I was meant to have a meeting with them, but I wasn't there. So I wasn't able to have the meeting with them. So I'll report back tomorrow. So guys, how do you discipline your students who are not wanting to be disciplined? Some people give detention. As I've just told you guys, detention. What do you do when students are not listening? When students are disrespected? How do you discipline them? Anyway, tomorrow I'll be looking at classroom management for the rest of the week. So I'll share some tips and strategies that I've been using. But in terms of what I want to know is, how do you discipline students that are not listening in terms, and in this case, I gave detention. So how do you work with that? What do you do? And they put it in the chat or do a Facebook Live so that, you know, you share what's going on with you in the school, so we could share ideas and exchange ideas. A problem shared is a problem shared, or a problem shared is a problem aired, however you want to say it. Right? So it is better to share. We find solution through sharing. So educators, share how you deal with students who are not listening in the school. They give detention. So what do you do? Anyway, guys, have a blessed day. Stay blessed. And remember, you are a fantastic educator. Remember, you came in this for a reason. Remember, you are actually imparting knowledge and you're transforming young lives. You're actually building confidence in them and setting up for the future. You're actually transforming new leaders. You're training future leaders to lead our country, to lead the world. That's what we're doing as educators. And you're doing a fantastic job. Make no mistake about that. It doesn't matter what anyone else say to you. You just ignore them. They don't exist. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you for looking. Bye-bye.